America's children now are taught to revere revolutionaries like Che or Mao or Castro. Well, let's take a look at who these people really are. Che. Che, the guy on the t-shirt that all the kids love now. He said revolution was a lot of fun. And, quote, I feel my nostrils dilate, savoring that acrid smell of gunpowder and blood of the enemy. That's who your son or daughter is having on their t-shirt. He admitted to shooting people in the back of the head as, quote, a matter of course, but says he didn't turn into a cold-blooded killing machine until Castro took over. Castro put him in charge of the La Habana prison, where he oversaw the killings of up to 2,000 people, executed without trial or due process. That's Che. Oh, but it gets worse. How about Fidel Castro? His firing squads murdered pregnant women. His Coast Guard machine-gunned mothers with children that were trying to escape on rafts. His regime made Cuban women into the most suicidal women in the world, tripling their pre-revolution suicide rate. He tried to destroy New York City 2 times. Did you know that? Once, of course, with nuclear missiles. In 1962, he planned to set off 500 kilos of TNT in stores and Grand Central Terminal on a busy shopping day. Oh, we just love Castro now, don't we? His slogan, please listen. Please listen. His slogan was revolution first, elections later. He locked up groups such as homosexuals in concentration camps during the 1960s. They were subject to medical and political re-education. Then we have the chairman, Chairman Mao. He sets up Chinese gulags, an empire of slave labor camps filled with poorly fed counter-revolutionaries. In case you don't know what a counter-revolutionary is, to somebody who respects Chairman Mao, that would be people like the Tea Party people. You are against the people in power. That's a counter-revolutionary to revolutionaries. He sent political opponents to reform camps, humiliated them in struggle sections, and declared the worst among the offenders should be shot. Those campaigns took hundreds of thousands of lives, many by suicide. Mao said, quote, people who try to commit suicide don't attempt to save them. China is such a populous nation, it is not as if we can't do without a few people, end quote. He said, quote, we are prepared to sacrifice 300 million Chinese for the victory of the world revolution. Scholars estimate that 16.5 to 40 million people died during the Great Leap famine, which was mostly caused, see if this sounds familiar, by the implementation of collectivization policies that reduced incentive and output of food. All told, Mao was responsible for well over 70 million deaths in peacetime, more than any other 20th century leader. Do you hear it? That's Mao. You don't read about these people anymore. You don't have your children study these people anymore. Why is that? No. We're only teaching our kids that these guys are cool. Is that because there are very powerful people with agenda that worship these radicals? White House Communications Director Anita Dunn, standing in front of a group of graduating high school students and praising him.
Two of my favorite political philosophers, Mao Zedong and Mother Teresa, not often coupled with each other, but the two people that I turn to most.
Che. Our kids don't know who he is. Cold-blooded killer. Anita, the the latest on the list that now worships Mao Zedong. Then we have Valerie Jarrett. Valerie Jarrett. Do we have the Valerie Jarrett sound, please? Here's Valerie Jarrett.
I don't know how many of you guys know Van Jones. Van Jones is... Ooh.
This is his house, apparently.
Van Jones, right? So, Van Jones, we were so delighted to be able to recruit him into the White House. We've been watching him really for, he's not that old, but for as long as he's been active out in Oakland and all of the ways that he has creative ideas that he has.
Stop. Anytime she tells you that she didn't know who she was, you remember that. Oh, I don't know. I didn't know who he was. I've been watching him ever since he's been in Oakland. This man is a committed communist revolutionary. He also loves Mao. Look at how many people we have already in common with good old Mao. You feel comfortable with the government of the United States being run by people who idolize and look to this man, where is it? This man, most often. How did we get here? I mean, I remember growing up, one of my heroes was George Washington. They used to be our founding fathers. Now we don't even talk about them. They used to be explorers, and dare I say it, spiritual leaders. Kids growing up in America, we used to admire people like Joe DiMaggio and Lou Gehrig. But you don't have to go back to the 40s to remember a time when the country just had a different feel to it. When communists weren't revered, they were reviled. I have to tell you, I'm tired, and I think you are too. We work hard all day. Our country is on fire. The world is on fire. We come home after fighting our day just to be able to get home in time for dinner, to spend time with our kids. Then you sit down and you hear about what our kids learned in school that day, or the indoctrination video that they were shown, or that somebody from the administration was telling them how wonderful Mao Zedong was. Who hired all of these people? Who hired them? Let's clean up the mess. We don't need blame. We just need to unite. This is not who we are. We do the hard thing. We do the tough thing. And then when we're gone, our children will tell our grandchildren the stories of what we did at this time to set our country right again and to regain our honor. And maybe, if we're lucky, someone in that room will say, wow, where are the Americans like that anymore?